Hey everyone, I'm Ashes,
And I'm Will.
and
And
this
this
is
is
Ashes
Ashes
and
and
Will
Will
Do
Do Disney.
Disney.
Each week, one of us will tell the other the history, facts, and stories behind the rides and attractions of Disney that have made special memories for generations.
Keep in mind that Ashes and Will Do Disney is not affiliated with or employed by the Walt Disney Company, and our views and opinions do not reflect theirs.
Now it's time to sit back, relax, and put on your ears because it's time for Ashes and Will Do Disney. Oh, hey there, Ashes.
Hey babe, how are you?
I'm good. It's getting a little chilly here in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm not too pleased about that one, I'm not gonna lie.
Halloween was a cold one for us.
It was very cold. I was Minnie Mouse and I had on tights.
Well,
So,
I was Mickey Mouse and had on a pair of your black leggings under my red shorts.
yep.
We need to post some pictures of our costume
We do, we do.
so
We
people can see that.
definitely, because especially by the time this comes out, it's going to be partway into November. So
Right.
hopefully you guys will have seen. We were Mickey and Minnie, and we got to dress up with a very good couple friend of ours who were Donald and Daisy.
Yep.
Um, if you guys watch the new episodes of the new Mickey Mouse cartoons, what is the newest episodes called?
Uh, Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, I think.
Is that what the new ones are
I think
called?
so.
So there's this episode where Donald and Daisy, usually hang out with Mickey and Minnie, but Mickey and Minnie are, maybe just a bit intense, and
Maybe
Donald,
just a little.
Donald and Daisy are just like, for the love of everything, we need a break. So Donald's like, it's cool. I'm just gonna tell them that like we're sick. So Donald's just like, yeah, we can't come over. We're sick. And Daisy is like, oh my God, why would you do that?
Yes, Daisy said, "Oh my God," on the kids'
Literally.
cartoon.
Okay. That was definitely the gist. I'm pretty sure there would have been more bad words even. But Mickey and Minnie go over and,
They do go over,
aggressively take care of them.
or
So,
try to, and then they all get sick, and then they're happy that they're all in the hospital to recover together.
yep. So that's us. We're the aggressively loving friends. So,
I mean, they had to wear Halloween costumes because they had no other option with us.
I mean, in all fairness, Erica was all about it. I didn't even have to convince her, so it's fine. Anyways, we had a great Halloween. I hope you guys had a great Halloween too. I would love to see your Disney costumes too, see what other people dressed
Yeah,
up as.
absolutely. If we've got some of our followers who did some Disney characters, definitely
We
share it
had
to us.
our kids were Lilo, and Angel because clearly, Stitch isn't pink, so we had to be Lilo and Angel. And then we had a skeleton Mickey.
For our
So,
son.
yep, it
Yep.
was it was fun. We had a good time. We always love Halloween.
We do. That's definitely one of our favorite holidays. It's definitely a big family affair. We don't just go trick or treating, it's always a big ordeal in our house.
Yeah. So, I know what I'm doing today, but what do you have for me before I get started with my stories?
Well, obviously, as we mentioned, Halloween's over. By the time this episode comes out, we're going to be partway into November. And before we get to Christmas, we have to get to Thanksgiving.
I know. It's just like that break point in between, holiday and Halloween and Christmas.
Your brother posted a thing today that said something to the effect of Thanksgiving is just the halftime show for Christmas.
I totally agree with him. I don't always agree with my brother on everything, but he posted a picture of our freaking adorable little nephew, like all decked out in like a cute little Christmas outfit with like a Santa mug and some Santa books today.
Yep,
And yeah, he was all about like sweet Christmas season, let's go.
that's pretty
And
much where we're at. I
yeah,
mean, this morning you had your work meeting and I was awake when you left, but I didn't have to be up, so I didn't get out of bed. Any background noises you're hearing, our dog Zero is kind of going nuts, so just forewarning that might be in the background on this episode, as it may usually be with the animals. Anyways, I didn't have to get up this morning. I was still kind of sleepy, so I stayed in bed and I started watching Christmas episodes of The Office.
yep. It's that time.
We're shifting through. But nonetheless, let's still take a look at Thanksgiving.
Oh, I had to give a quick shout out to my work wife, real quick, Sonia, because I was supposed to work tonight, and that's why we got our surprise little recording session.
We weren't supposed to record for a couple more nights here,
I
but we got to do
know.
it tonight now instead.
So sorry for abandoning you, Sonia. Love you. Okay, bye. Okay, now
Okay.
give me your quiz.
So Thanksgiving grows near, and with it, thoughts of spending time with family and friends and having a pretty great feast at the same time. Today, we're going to help you build your perfect Thanksgiving meal, Disney themed, of course, and then we'll tell you which Disney character should crash the party and bring additional joy to the holiday. Get your fancy dishes out and begin.
Ooh.
And again, I already took the quiz. I'll tell you what I answered when you answered, and then I'll let you know who I got at the end.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay, first things first. What is the color scheme for your Thanksgiving feast? Orange and brown.
Ew.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said. All the bright colors, green
Maybe.
and yellow, or only neutral colors?
I don't honestly like any of
Well, you
those.
have to pick one.
Oh, clearly. I guess I'll go with bright
That's
colors.
what I said.
I was waiting for like the Halloween town, like black and white,
It's not a
like
Halloween quiz, it's a Thanksgiving
I
quiz.
know, but we've discussed it. Thanksgiving is just halftime.
Next, pick your plates. Paper plates? Do gold plates exist? Just regular plates? Or the finest plates in all the land?
Oh, we're just a regular plate kind
Yep,
of.
that's what I said, just regular plates. What will be your main course? Turkey, obvi. That it says obvi. That's not me trying to be cool. It says obvi on the
I
choice.
I know you're not that cool. Well, it's okay.
Well, I think I would make myself even less cool if I was trying to be cool and saying obvi.
You do an excellent job at making yourself just so cool, so it's okay.
All right. So turkey, obvi. Veggies, steak, or pizza?
Veggies.
I said turkey just because most of the people we eat with eat turkey.
I know, but I do love my veggies.
I know. What is the prized side dish at your feast? Potatoes, dressing, casserole, or soup?
I never knew that it was called dressing literally until I met you. Like in my house, it was always just called stuffing. And then your mom called it dressing, and I was like, what is she talking about? I thought of salad dressing. So, anyways, I'm gonna go with potatoes
That's what
though.
I said was potatoes. What kind of bread will you have? Wheat, sourdough, raisin, or no bread? It says there's like an exclamation point. That's why I was
Okay,
like, no bread.
only monsters skip the bread, and who puts raisin bread on Thanksgiving? So we're going with sourdough.
That's what I said. What dressing will you make for the salad? So this is salad dressing.
See, why are they the same words? It's so confusing. Just go.
Maybe to you.
No, probably to other people. I want to hear from other people.
Okay. So you make ranch, vinaigrette, blue cheese, or what is salad?
Oh,
Yeah. For those who don't know, Ash eats a salad like almost every night.
I I do love salad. I eat salad very often. I had a salad for dinner tonight,
You did.
so we'll do ranch out of
Oh, I
those.
said blue cheese.
Well, I do like blue cheese, but I feel like most people like don't like blue
It's
cheese
not
as
most
much.
people, it's you.
Well, it depends on my
Well,
mood.
too late. You already said
It's
ranch,
fine. I
so.
said ranch. I stick with it. No regrets.
Okay. You've got your basics. How many people will be at your feast? Just a few. 5 to 10 people, 11 to 20 people, or more than 20 people?
I mean, seeing as just our family makes five, so if we invite over a couple people, what are the choices? 5 to 10 or 11 to 20?
Or more than 20?
Oh, let's say 11 to 20. Let's
Oh, I said
pretend
5 to
like,
10.
well, I know, I was like somewhere in there.
I don't want that many people over.
Well, I know, but every once in a while we have friends.
Well, we do, but that's why we split things up a little bit, too.
It depends if Donald and Daisy come.
That's true. Pick a Disney or Disney Pixar chef to help you prep your meal.
Oh, okay.
Remy.
I was like, your mom will die if it's Remy.
It's Remy. Chef Louis, Gusto, or Chef Mickey?
Oh, I want Mickey.
I said Chef Mickey. Pick a Disney or Disney Pixar character to design your centerpiece.
Ooh,
Rapunzel, Edna E. Mode, Pascal, or Genie?
ooh, Edna.
Oh, I said Genie.
Jean or Genie?
Genie. Who's Gene?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing.
Genie.
Genie. No, I'm gonna stick with Edna though. It's fine.
Okay. Finally, what will your prized dessert be? All the pie, cake, cookies, or ice cream with toppings?
Well, it's Thanksgiving, so it has to be
I
pie.
said pie. Oh, we got slightly different. Just our little bit of answers changed it up a little bit.
That's okay. I mean, how often are ours the same though?
I know, but we were so close on a lot of our answers. I was a little surprised it didn't make us the same
I know,
one.
but we're pretty much never the same.
Well, no. But again, a lot of our answers were really close.
Whatever. What did I get?
Ariel should be at your feast.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, Erica's going to be so upset at you right now with how disappointed you were about that. That is Erica's favorite princess, is Ariel.
I know, but I'm so weird about Ariel. She legit just straight disobeys her father, and like morally, I just have such an issue with her, like not having a voice and making a man fall in love with her
Well,
without a
let's hold
voice.
up to. Let's go back a little bit. It's not just that she disobeyed her father. Let's not just be like, "Oh, she disobeyed her parents. What a horrible kid." That's not what the issue is. The issue is that she disobeyed her father
Changed
to
her
change her
body
body and to try and get someone she never actually met to fall in love with her within a couple
without
of days.
without even without talking, with just using her body. Like I just
But the movie's still not a bad movie.
I mean some of the songs are fine. I
And the movie
just
itself really is not that
I
bad.
mean if Ariel comes, we're going to have like a chat.
Well, this says, no one will be more impressed by your Thanksgiving celebrations than Ariel.
I feel like she's very easily impressed, so
Well,
yeah.
yeah, from the dingle hoppers to the music, everything will go along swimmingly. As long as you watch out for evil sea witches trying to join your party, everything will be fine.
I mean, I feel like it takes nothing to impress Ariel, so I feel like it was kind of a slap in the face.
Well, I mean,
Like I feel like I'm back in that escape room that we did over the weekend where there was the, plague doctor in our escape room that we did and
the
he
one who
called
I
me
said we should
basic.
trust, and you're like, no, don't trust him. He's just messing with you, and he actually was helping us.
Whatever. He called me basic, and I feel like that's what this quiz did too, so I'm a little offended.
So, based on my answers that were slightly different from yours on just a couple, I got Lumiere, who should be at the feast.
He can come.
It says, obviously, you need an impromptu performance by Lumiere at your Thanksgiving dinner.
Obviously.
All of your guests will get to try the gray stuff, and everyone will feel completely enchanted by the end of the day.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy this quiz.
So basically, what I heard in all of this was I know cooler Disney characters to invite to the holidays.
No, what I heard is this is just reiterating why Thanksgiving is pretty much my least favorite holiday.
It's not a big one for us.
I'm working on Thanksgiving. I volunteered to work Thanksgiving because I had to pick a holiday to
You
work.
usually do.
It's because I don't really care. Like, I just don't like Thanksgiving.
You know.
And now Ariel's coming, and
But Lumiere's coming too, so I mean, if it makes you feel better, just ignore Ariel because she's going to be impressed by everybody else, so you don't have to really entertain her.
It's fine. I'm just gonna go to work.
Okay, but before you do that, can we have a discussion about Disney stuff?
Yeah. So in October, I did not tell you about Tower of Terror.
You did not.
I did not, and I do owe my longtime good high school friend Teresa some good Tower of Terror knowledge because that is what she's asked for a long time ago, and I told her I would do an episode for her as well. So,
Okay.
Teresa, this is for you and all of our fun adventures that we had growing up together. There's nothing scary about Tower of Terror, so that's why I couldn't do it in October. But It's still interesting.
Okay, yeah, I'm
So
excited
we'll
to
tell
talk
you
about it.
about it. And can I just say that one of these days you're gonna have to get on it with doing some, like, you have to tell our listeners about like some of the different CEOs that Disney has gone through.
Well, yeah, I will. That's
Because,
definitely on my agenda one of these
oh, I
days.
know, but I'm just saying you really need to get on it because we're going to talk about Michael Eisner here for a hot second.
Okay.
And, like there's been some drama with what we got Bob Chapek now.
Bob Chapek, yep.
And I've seen like in my Facebook feeds about like people signing
There's
petitions to get
petitions to
rid of
have him
him.
removed.
And I feel like Bob Iger, he was just so great. And
I love Bob Iger, who
I,
is retiring. So Bob Iger, he's going to retire from the company altogether at the end of this year. He was supposed to be stepping down as Disney CEO at the end of this year and retiring, but he stepped down early but stayed on the board.
yeah,
And I guess they did their like annual meeting or whatever it was, and he did a presentation and kind of a goodbye speech essentially.
yeah.
And a lot of people think he was aiming what he said at Bob Chapek. I don't know, because I don't know what their relationship is. I haven't talked to Bob Iger personally about it,
Why not?
because he's a busy man getting ready to retire and he just hasn't returned my texts. But a lot of people think that he was taking kind of a jab at Bob Chapek, saying, don't let numbers and data influence all your decisions, use creativity, use imagination. And a lot of people think that was directed towards Bob Chapek because Bob Chapek is supposedly known to be a numbers guy and a data driven guy, so he's looking at numbers to make his decisions. Supposedly. I don't know what the validity is there, but a lot of people think he
Look,
was directing that at
I
Bob
just,
Chapek.
you've told me a lot about these CEOs, so like I feel a little invested, kind of like how I don't like George Lucas. I really need you to tell everyone about all these different
Oh, I
CEOs
will.
because it's
Yeah.
legit. Like I know it probably sounds boring, but there is some drama,
Oh man,
and
there's a lot of drama, especially in the Eisner era. There's a lot of drama.
I know, and just Bob Iger's so amazing. So, anyways, we're gonna talk about Michael Eisner for a second, and
Okay.
I need you to get on this, okay, Will?
Okay, eventually I will.
Okay, no, sooner than later.
Probably after the holidays.
Okay, well, you take too long, but it's fine. Whatever. So 1989, MGM Studios, right, is opening up. It's
Now
well,
Hollywood Studios.
well, yes, now it's Hollywood Studios. We're not there yet. At this point, it's
Right.
MGM
That's why I said
Studios.
now.
Okay, it's my episode.
Sorry.
Yeah, watch your spot. So, Disney World's third park opens its gate. CEO Michael Eisner called it not a place on a map, but a state of mind that exists wherever people dream and wonder and imagine. Which makes Michael Eisner sound like a cool guy, but I don't know. I feel like him and George Lucas could be friends, so just saying. It was both a theme park and an operating production studio. On opening day, there were the only two operating attractions were the studio backlot tour and the Great Movie Ride. And then several months after the park opened, the Streetmosphere improvisational troupe was added to the park. Streetmosphere performers, now named the Citizens of Hollywood, are the longest running attraction at the park. From day one, guests showed a lack of enthusiasm for the movie based theme park, and Eisner was furious about the park's performance. Oh, I mean, in all fairness, you literally opened a park with two rides.
I mean, yeah, and honestly,
Um,
again, things I'll get into, that's not the first time that happened to Michael Eisner where people didn't care about what he opened.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, what did you expect? So,
Right, I mean, a park with two rides, who's gonna. I would not be happy if I paid for a ticket and went in and there were only two rides and then my day at the park is done.
yeah, I just don't even understand. So, he spent years brokering deals to bring the park to fruition. He intended this to be his stamp on the Disney brand, his legacy that would last for decades after he'd left the company.
Well, he's got a legacy on the company,
Hmm.
but
Yeah. Mind you, for those who don't know, Eisner was the head of Paramount Pictures before he came to Disney, so the fact that this was what he focused on to be his legacy was not surprising. He
Because it's movie
basically,
based.
yeah, it was just movie based. I'm like, did you even care about Disney? Like, no. You might as well have called it like the Michael Eisner Park, but whatever. MGM works too, so it's fine. You know, they only helped pay for it, but whatever. Unsurprisingly, it was described as a half-day park. And even that was...
half day for 2 rides?
Yeah, I was going to say, literally, even that was generous considering how little there was to do there.
I was like, I feel like that's people just sticking around to be like, well, I feel like if we leave, we don't get our money's worth.
Yeah. The theme park's lack of an attraction that would stand as its icon, attract guests, and be recognizable and associated with the park was also kind of an issue. So clearly, Imagineers had a lot of work to do to kind of, clean this up.
Get this thing up to snuff.
Yeah. Literally, like, I should have tried to find, like, a map or something from opening day, because I'm like, I don't even understand what else there was. Like, what did you actually expect guests to do?
Like your star that says you are here, and then there's one other ride on the map.
Yeah.
And then a big circle walkway pathway.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, out of all 4 of the main, parks down there,
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios is still my least favorite. Well,
Oh, see, I was like, Animal Kingdom's my least favorite. I feel like that's the one we do the least at.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe it was just for the fact that
Animal Kingdom Day was just really hot.
it was really hot, but I feel like... So we did Hollywood Studios that first day, for our first day at the parks.
Yeah.
Then we did it again, and I feel like that second day we went, it was like a Tuesday, and it was absurdly crowded.
I know, I just didn't care. I might have had more fun at Animal Kingdom just because at least I could, like, walk through. We didn't get to do the walk-through zoo, and we didn't get to do Everest.
But I did do the dinosaur ride for the first time.
I feel like I almost think I would have rather gone back to Animal Kingdom.
Nah, I think I was okay going back to Hollywood Studios.
I mean, it's fine.
Animal Kingdom's a one and done for me.
I do like the Pixar stuff. Well, either way, we know that Epcot,
Epcot.
Epcot and Magic Kingdom win, hands down. So
Yeah, for sure.
let's be real. Anyways, at this point in time, Universal Studios was set to open up in 1990. So we're like we opened right before Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So the pressure was certainly on to find something that would entice guests to come to Disney's MGM Studios. And Eisner's ego was being threatened. So really the biggest problem here to solve was how to make Eisner feel better about himself.
I mean, it didn't seem like it took much to threaten his ego, so...
Yep. Since Eisner had a previous working relationship with Mel Brooks, he decided to bring Brooks into work with the best Imagineers at the time to help brainstorm. Because naturally, clearly Mel Brooks is totally the Imagineer type.
I mean, Robin Hood Men in Tights did have a Disney feel to it, I'm not gonna lie. I am lying. It does not have a Disney feel to it.
It's the tights, isn't it?
Yeah.
So clearly, Mel Brooks comes in, and he loved the idea of using one of his own iconic tales, Young Frankenstein, to become the theme behind the next attraction at the park. It would fit the bill to bring a mix of horror and goth, but it could still cater to both children as well. Brooks even helped design blueprints for the castle with a drawbridge and a moat and a village surrounding it. Imagineers jokingly referred to the project as Hotel Mel.
Hotel Mel.
I feel like I would have really liked some of these Imagineers.
I mean, granted, I'm not gonna lie though. I mean, I feel like a Mel Brooks Young Frankenstein castle type thing would be fun. Not necessarily at a Disney park though.
I feel like it would not have stood the test of time
No,
well.
Absolutely not.
At all.
That's why I said not in a Disney park. It needs to go somewhere like a Universal type park where it might be appreciated a little bit more for what it is.
Agreed. So do you want to hear what it would have been like?
Oh, absolutely.
So guests would have seen this huge abandoned hotel that may be haunted.
Maybe haunted.
That may be.
Okay.
It doesn't say it is. It just says may.
Okay.
So there's suspicions. and through the television monitors be informed that Mel Brooks was directing a new comedy horror inside. So weird, Mel Brooks would be totally part of this
So
for
he's
like
making
an
himself the
eternity.
star of his ride.
Well, obviously.
Okay.
So, guests would be given a chance to visit the hot set, so like a little
It's a live set,
live
basically. That's
yeah.
where they're filming currently.
And maybe even given a chance to be an extra in the film.
Ooh.
Yeah, they would have boarded golf carts, which would have been guided by the magnetic wire embedded in the floor.
I get that, so it's like you're going around the studio a lot, but
yes,
okay.
But that would have been like, instead of getting like a doom buggy.
That's your ride.
It was a golf cart.
It's a golf cart. Okay.
So, you remember, you're paying money for this.
Yes, I know. I'm paying money for this.
And you would experience a coven of witches cooking in their cauldron in a hotel kitchen, encounter Quasimodo, the hotel bellboy, and even visit the men's room, where Dracula is trying to shave himself in the mirror but can't see his reflection.
Oh, Mel Brooks.
And Wolfman is combing himself while Frankenstein is in the stall trying to grab the mummy's wrappings to use his toilet paper.
Comedic gold.
So clearly, the men's bathroom would have been like the most.
It'd been like the star of
the ride is the potty.
Again, this sounds like it would have fared much better at like a Universal Studios type of ride.
Yeah. So it was Brooks' intention that it would be like a comedic version of the Haunted Mansion. However,
I mean, the Haunted Mansion is a comedic version of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Yeah. Despite many outrageous gags, nobody could quite come up with a coherent story to tie it all together. And the price for creating these elaborate audio animatronic figures was a little cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
So basically, Eisner like awkwardly sat in the corner, not knowing how to tell his buddy that,
his ride's a no-go.
Yeah, like, well, I don't hate the idea, like, not super fond of it either. So, Eisner kind of started to want to go towards more of the horror route instead, because he really didn't even care if it, like, attracted children. He just,
he wanted to have an attraction that attracted people.
Yeah, and he wanted to put his, Eisner was here stamp on, the Disney brand. So, going the horror route, where do you look for a theme? Where do you look for inspiration? Stephen King. Obviously. Because we, basically could have had the Stanley Hotel as a ride inside of Hollywood Studios,
That I would ride over and over. That especially, if it had the drop even, I might just suck that up. If there was a Stanley Hotel Shining ride, I'm in.
So,
I'm in.
The Stephen King version would have been a walking tour narrated by Vincent Price about a group of movie stars who had been staying at the hotel but mysteriously disappeared. Throughout the tour, guests would discover clues, and when they finally entered the elevator, what had happened to those missing people became very clear, but it was too late to get out. Eisner suggested making the hotel an actual in-park Disney resort theme to a film noir murder mystery revolving around the hotel manager who had gone crazy, and that would have included costume staff interacting with the guests and a haunted elevator experience. It was even suggested having resort guests brought directly from the airport in a 1939 vehicle with the shades drawn to immerse them in the time period.
So it would have been a hotel to actually stay out to then, or is it still just a ride?
Apparently, it would have been a legit murder mystery hotel that you could have stayed at.
Wow,
so,
we needed that too.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed in
I
that
would
one.
love to stay at that.
Would have liked that better than, Mel Brooks's,
Well, yeah.
potty ride.
His potty ride. The men's room ride.
I mean, this is basically like the highlight was the boys' bathroom.
I mean, I feel like if you really wanted to, you could just go into one of the boys' bathrooms in the park and get the same experience, maybe.
What? There's just young Frankenstein in there grabbing toilet paper?
I mean, there's just some not so pretty stuff in there is what I'm saying.
Oh, Lord. So eventually Stephen King and young Frankenstein were both nixed from the table.
Clearly.
thankfully, someone had the idea of the Twilight Zone. I don't know who this was, but God bless them.
Yeah, they did a good job there.
Yeah. And also, it was pretty convenient because compared to other, adventures they were looking at, the rights to the Twilight Zone were much cheaper.
Which I'm sure. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it would have been. I mean, they said Mel Brooks was too costly. I can't imagine getting Stephen King to do something would have been much cheaper.
Something about Stephen King just doesn't scream Disney to me, but I'm not gonna
Well,
lie, the Murder Mystery
no.
Hotel, sign me up. Though.
Absolutely. Again, I'll definitely go. Like I said, that might not necessarily be a Disney thing, but I would absolutely pay money to go experience that.
So, I'm sure you're not surprised, but at this point, Mel Brooks decided to peace out.
What?
Yeah, he was like, I think I'm not gonna be a part of this anymore.
Once his idea got nixed, he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, when the men's potty wasn't the star of the ride anymore, he was like, deuces. Oh, sorry, guys. So the perk of using the Twilight Zone was that Disney was able to come up with its own storyline. Part of this meant that Imagineers legit got paid to watch all 156 episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Oh, nice.
Some of them they watched up to 3 to 4 times, so that way they could get ideas for storylines, props, and set designs. So could you imagine coming home and being like, oh, it's such a hard day at work. I had to watch the Twilight Zone again today. I want that job.
It's like those college classes that analyze The Simpsons.
Right? Where that was your class. Yeah. One of the hurdles, however, that they had to overcome was that the host of the Twilight Zone, Rod Serling, had died 15 years before they decided to do this.
Yeah, I figured he was gone quite a while before they decided it.
So, trying to get him to narrate a new episode was going to be a little challenging.
Yeah,
They were able to piece together a majority of what Serling says at the beginning of the ride from most of the Twilight episodes, but there was a few words that he actually never spoke within all 156 episodes. One of which I think was maintenance elevator. Never said that. So they had to find a voice actor that could fit the bill. And honestly, until I started reading this, I had no clue that they used someone else's voice. When we went on that ride, me and the girls wrote it, 3 times in a
the first day you wrote it 3 times.
I wrote it 3 times in a row the first day, and then I think at least 2 or 3 times.
It was about 2 times. I think the second time it went about 2 times. You got halfway through. It was 2 times.
Yeah, so I never would have known that it was someone else's voice until
it's pieced together so well.
They did such a good job. So you see Rod Serling talking, and then whenever it's not his voice, that's just when they cut away and show a scene of the episode that they're talking about.
Okay.
When they're using someone else's voice.
This totally reminds me of that Treehouse of Horror episode of The Simpsons, where all the companies hire Homer. So Homer accidentally kills Krusty after he makes Maggie cry for sandblasting his face off the daycare wall because they weren't paying him for it. And then all the ad executives are like, hey, so we hear you do this, and when they're not alive, we don't have to pay them for the commercials. So that's what this kind of comes across as. And they have a whole thing of John Wayne just pieced together different things for a commercial saying all these different things. That's totally what that reminds me of, is they just spliced all these things together and they're not worried about paying him.
I mean, I'm sure someone still got paid.
I'm sure someone in the family or estate got paid.
And I did see that episode. They did a little bit better of a job.
I'm sure they did. But that's just what the idea.
And mind you, when Will sits here and says, I'm sure they did, again, in case you forgot, William has never been on.
I've POV'd it, though.
Oh.
I've watched it on YouTube.
It's not the same.
No, of course it's not.
So, the voice that they used was actually of Mark Silverman, who was personally selected by Serling's widow, Carol, after hearing hundreds of audition tapes. So, that one just makes my heart so happy.
Yeah.
I think it's just the sweetest thing ever. Child actress Lindsay Ridgway, at the age of 7, portrayed Sally Shine
Sally Shine.
in the video that they made for the ride. So for the ride itself, they made like a couple like clips of like an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So she played Sally Shine in that. Later, she appeared on Boy Meets World as the little sister Morgan. Yep. And then at the age of 11, she recreated the Sally role for the actual movie
The
Tower
decom.
of Terror. Yep. Glad you know all this, Will. Why am I even here? William has watched the movie Tower of Terror
many times.
Many times.
Well, because I got impatient because there's something going on. I have to look more into why, but I know there's something going on with the decoms. That's Disney Channel original movies.
I was like, wow.
There's something going on with some of those old decoms that they're not allowed to like put on Disney Plus. So that's why
you can't even rent them on Amazon.
You can't rent it on Amazon. So I broke down and just bought it on DVD
for a whole $5.
It's like $5, and we've watched it every year for Halloween time and not Halloween time. So
yeah, well, add that to the list of stuff you're gonna have to get on researching, sir.
Yeah, I should look into that.
The idea of the episode, so they didn't base the ride off one specific episode.
Right.
They kind of took ideas from, they did take ideas from kind of one specific episode, but it's not based off that one specific episode. Mm-hmm. They kind of took it and ran with it.
Right.
So the idea of a fifth dimension was shown in the Little Lost Girl was the name of the episode that aired in March of 1962, where a little girl named Tina Falls, a little girl named Tina falls into another dimension.
Oh no, Miss Falls is missing.
It could be a last name. It's fine. She falls into another dimension through the wall behind her bed. The premise for the Tower of Terror attraction is that the ill-fated elevator passengers have fallen into a dimension and have been trapped in there, never aging for decades. They are not ghosts, but frozen in time and space.
If you guys can hear that,
I was
our
like,
dog
Zero
is
is
going
just
to town
chewing on a
right
bone.
Now.
Like right underneath the table or somewhere close by. Oh, she's
close
over
by,
in the other room.
It's loud, so sorry about that.
Yeah. So when they reach the fifth dimension corridor, the AGVs, the autonomous guided vehicles, because, you know, they can't have a cool name like Doom Buggies or something.
Well, it's already in use.
Clearly, but really, AGVs is the best they could come up with. When they reach the fifth dimension corridor, the AGVs exit not on a track like a traditional dark ride vehicle, but they are guided by a magnetic wire under the floor. This technology was originally developed for the ride vehicles in Epcot's Universe of Energy attraction and the Great Movie Ride.
I was going to say, that's the same stuff they're using in Great Movie, which is now Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Yeah, which that ride is just great.
It is. It's fun.
So, when they reach the far end of the corridor, they walk into another vehicle motion cab, which handles the actual drop sequence. Unlike other amusement park drop rides like Magic Mountain's Freefall, which I don't even know what that is, but you know, whatever, that's the example they use.
It's probably like the Tower of Doom at Art Elitch's, where it just brings you up and then just drops you.
Yeah. So we've lived in Colorado basically our whole lives. Although I still stand by I'm not a native because I technically was not born here.
Neither was I, technically.
People at work have tried to tell me that I'm a native because I've lived here since I was like 3, but I adamantly stand behind the fact that I'm not a native, and Sonia agrees with me. But anyways, other people who've gone to other amusement parks have told me how lame our Elitch Gardens is, or like Busch Gardens for what other people. I mean, I have nothing to compare it to, and you don't even ride roller coasters.
No, I don't. But I mean, I guess that's probably why I don't like it. There's not really dark rides there. I mean, I like it. I always have fun when I go. Like, I have fun with the kids, but
yeah. So
it's not really for me. I don't really go on my own to be like, yeah, Elitch's.
Well, Tower of Doom, which I'm sure other places have rides just like it, they just basically...
Well, I mean, they did it at the carnival for the church thing.
Yeah.
by our old house.
Yeah,
They
they
had one
just
of them
lift
there
you all
too,
the way up and
and then
then
just drop you,
legit just drop you. So
and you're just out in the open too.
yeah. So that's not at all what Tower of Terror does, because in those you're just being pulled down by gravity.
Right.
So with Tower of Terror, you're actually moving faster than the speed of gravity, up to a top speed of 39 miles per hour. When the attraction was going through its test and adjustment phase, it was found that the vertical vehicle conveyance, so basically the elevator, because again, we got to have like boring fancy names here apparently, the
Right.
VVC. So basically, the elevator was being pulled down so rapidly that it was compressing the air at the bottom of the shaft and blowing out the walls.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so adjustments had to be made.
Sure.
The attraction itself is only 199 feet tall because federal regulations would have required that a flashing red beacon be at the top of it to warn an aircraft if it was 200 or more feet tall. And that would have conflicted with the theming of the story the Imagineers were trying to tell. For years, the tower was the tallest Walt Disney World attraction, and today it's the second tallest because Expedition Everest is 199.5 feet tall.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie, I really don't feel like a little red light at the top of it would. I personally wouldn't be like, well, that's it. Now it's
The
not
authenticity
real.
is gone.
Yeah, but whatever, guys, it's cool.
It's fine.
Whatevs. Because of its height, lightning did indeed strike the structure while it was being built, and also afterwards. So afterwards, there was lightning rods installed at the top. The building itself is composed of 1,500 tons of steel, over 145,000 cubic feet of concrete, and 27,000 individual roof tiles. I mean,
it's a lot of roof tiles.
Kind of a lot, right? Construction began in 1992 on the area that had formerly been a cast member parking lot. As concrete was getting ready to be poured, a sinkhole opened up under the site.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not ominous to
No.
put like that's like the only scary part in this whole thing. I feel like
a sinkhole?
Is that there's a sinkhole supposed to be where a haunted hotel is going up. I feel like that's a little ominous. But then they're like, it's cool, we just filled it up, pounded it down, and then we built it. It's cool.
Business as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I've ridden it, plenty of times now, clearly. But I'm not going to lie, that part still creeps me out a little bit. That is just chilling on top of the sinkhole, but whatever.
Yeah,
Disney marketing jumped the gun a little bit and came out with promotional tie-ins, commercials, opening date, teasers. But because the ride system was utilizing a new technology and the test and adjustment phase, took a little while to assure safety, it took longer than expected. Which, as I was reading this, I was like, oh dear, how much longer did it take? No, it was supposed to open on July 4th, and it didn't open until July 22nd.
So this wasn't like the Haunted Mansion where they did a bunch of promotional tie-ins and then 11 years later it opened.
Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe it's just because we had that bar set. I'm like, oh dear, how long did this take?
Couple weeks.
A couple, not even 3 extra weeks. Like, come on, guys. That was a little dramatic, but whatever.
Dramatic there.
So, that was in 1994. Universal had already been open for 4 years.
Yeah.
I feel like it took Eisner a while to get this one going because a lot of the other attractions, like episodes that we've done, like Space Mountain didn't take that long. Like a lot of the other rides definitely did not take that long. But there was a lot of new technology that did need to...
There was new tech, right?
Yeah. The computer code that had to be written and revised. Imagineers tested 33 different drop sequences before settling on a final one. So, since we've gone, we've always, I've always known it as you never get the same ride twice kind of thing because it's randomized, but it didn't start that way.
Okay.
It actually didn't become randomized until the 10-year anniversary in 2004.
Oh, wow. So it was just the same thing over and over.
It was the same exact drop sequence until 2004.
Okay.
And then at that point, the randomized patterns of drops and lifts were added. So you can have a, rise or drop, different distances and different intervals, and you can have up to 5 to 8 drops per ride. So the new slogan was "Never the same fear twice,"
Right.
with an exclamation mark.
That's great.
Yeah. They also took out the sorcerer Mickey hat from the park, so now the Tower of Terror is marketed as the new
That's the
icon.
centerpiece, yeah.
Yes, that's kind of like what represents the park now.
Well, when you're driving in Florida, like as you're driving towards the park, they have the little mini Tower of Terror statuette thing
Yeah.
in the median on the way. That's kind of its,
Yeah.
hey, you're almost to Hollywood Studios. That's what it's known for.
I know, which we pointed out to our children and told them there's real people in that sign, but they didn't believe us.
Which is weird. I don't know why they wouldn't believe us. Real people were sitting in the elevator
It was
shaft on the
pretty
side.
obvious. I don't understand why our children don't believe us, but whatever. So,
Kids.
Similar attraction opened in Tokyo Disney Sea in Japan in 2006, but they didn't use the Twilight Zone reference since it was determined that Japanese guests had, pretty much zero familiarity with the Twilight Zone. So instead, they came up with a new storyline that revolved around a fictional hotel, the Hightower, and the owner Harrison Hightower III and his collection of stolen mysterious artifacts, with an elevator incident happening New Year's Eve 1899 when Harrison disappeared.
Oh.
One day when we have all of the dollars, we'll go to Japan and go to Tokyo Disney Sea.
I want to go Tokyo Disney.
Well, yeah, I mean, me too. So, now that they say that, it's never the same fear twice.
Yeah.
For Twilight Tower of Terror. They also describe it as the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is a drop tower in the same way as Michael Jordan is a basketball player.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I did kind of like that because I'm like,
that.
it is.
It's not your standard drop tower. Because literally our Tower of Doom is they like strap you in, you're outside, and it's like this long, giant pole.
Well, yeah.
That brings you up and then literally just drops you down, and that's it.
It's not very fun.
It's literally just one quick drop, and you're done.
But I've been told how lame, Elitch's is. So now we do know that there was 2 Tower of Terrors at some point, but now there's only one.
Right.
So what happened to the other one?
It's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mission Breakout.
Yes. So, it opened in Disneyland and then closed in Disneyland.
Yes.
So it's basically a long story of contracts and money and deal making and basically intellectual property. But when Disney bought Marvel, mind you that they bought Marvel for $4 billion, which was the same price they paid for Star Wars. Which
Star Wars was a little bit more. They put it up a little bit more. They knew George Lucas wasn't going to accept less than $4 billion, so they gave him just a little bit more. It was like $4.05 billion or something like that.
I also just don't like George Lucas.
I know, but they gave George Lucas just a little bit more money.
All your episode did was make me not like him. Anyways, Universal had, I guess, and still has a pretty ironclad contract saying that they get Marvel characters at their parks.
In Florida, yes.
Yeah. Well, the purchasing of Marvel took place before Guardians of the Galaxy movie was made. So, mind you, Guardians of the Galaxy comics already existed. They were already a thing.
Yeah.
But not popular by any means. And
the movies are so good, though.
Oh, well, frankly, Universal basically saw them as useless, and they didn't make the cut in that contract whatsoever.
Sure.
Like, Universal was like, we don't need that. Like, you can have that garbage. And Disney was like, okay, cool. Well, we're going to make a movie, and Universal was like, cool. Well, it'll be a flop, and have fun wasting your money. And Disney was basically like, suck it, this is going to be the most amazing movie ever. And specifically, the writers were given instructions to make a dancing tree and a gun-loving, adorable raccoon. Like, Disney knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they've been around for a while, and they know what sells and what's going to be those characters that just stick with you and they're not wrong. How many
Right.
people love Groot?
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, so they made these characters like they made the dancing tree and the gun-loving adorable raccoon to be extra lovable because they saw the value in merchandising there. And they were completely right.
Yeah.
So, this brings us up to about 2016. Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney at the time, and the way he saw it is Guardians of the Galaxy was Disney's intellectual property because it's part of the Disney family.
Hmm.
Well, the Twilight Zone is not,
Correct.
it's not Disney intellectual property. It's
Right.
not part of the Disney family. And technically, Disney is still writing checks to CBS every year to be able to use the Twilight Tower of
Right.
Terror.
Because they have that all on Paramount Plus, which used to be CBS All Access.
Yep.
All the original Twilight Zone is on there, including their rebooted new season of it that they put on there.
Yeah. So literally, just from like a merchandising standpoint, turning Tower of Terror at California Adventureland into Mission Breakout, it just made
It
more
just made
sense.
sense.
And not even from like a money standpoint, Bob Iger's thing was like, this is part of our family, and
Right.
that one's not. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was always super bitter about like them switching Tower of Terror in California, and like I can't even be mad about it now.
I wasn't ever mad about it. I mean, sure, I was a little
Okay,
bummed just because I
well,
like the spooky stuff, but at the same time, it's something that they could make their own.
yeah, I know, but you actually like all that boy crap, and I
do like all
don't.
that.
But I feel like Bob Iger's just so sweet about it, and he's like, "This is our
Oh, I know.
family," and I just like I can't.
And now, just to kind of go back a little bit to what you said, though, the contract for Universal that stands hard in Florida.
Yeah,
In California, they have Marvel characters. They have the Avengers Campus. They have Spider-Man, Captain America, all that stuff in California. But there's no character meet and greets in Florida because they're all contracted to Universal still.
yeah, and I don't know how long that contract lasts for, but
I imagine if once it's up and Disney can get a hold of it and make it work
oh
right,
yeah,
that'll all be in Hollywood studios.
oh completely. So, I mean, really, you never even rode Mission Breakout, and you still went in there to buy something.
Oh, I just
so,
walked straight. I mean, same thing I did at Hollywood Studios. I just walked into the gift shop to get stuff.
I know, but
Like I got my Oogie Boogie.
you walked in there.
I bought my Guardians of the Galaxy hat.
Yeah,
And we got a little wind-up dancing Groot too, which I don't know where that went.
I'm pretty sure it's just up in boys' box of toys
Yeah,
that
somewhere.
endless amounts of toys. So
But, I mean, we're members of a Guardians of the Galaxy Disney social club. Shout out Tomorrowland Ravagers.
I'm not gonna lie though, like legit, aside from like Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy would probably be my next favorite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Guardians of
although,
the Galaxy Volume 2 is in my top 5 Marvel movies.
not that I see Deadpool becoming a part of Disney anytime soon.
I mean, he is.
I know, but not like at like the parks. Like I don't.
Oh, maybe not at the parks, but they're gonna make more. They're gonna make a Deadpool movie 3. So,
Well, I mean, I support that, but
yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying,
and it's
like,
under Disney's Marvel, so
if there was ever like a line to meet Deadpool, like,
you'd get in that line.
I would get in that line. Like, I'm usually like, whatever, Will, have fun getting in your line to meet whatever weird, like, random
Oh yeah,
superhero
we went
character.
to Disneyland and we were at DCA. I waited in line to meet Captain America. Then you guys all jumped in for the picture once it was my turn.
Yeah, it was great. We wandered around, went shopping, and popped in for the picture.
Yeah, I texted you guys, be like, I'm almost up. Come back.
Yeah, because I really don't care. Like, I'll get pictures with some of, like, the main characters, but even that isn't, like...
Captain America was my, like, I'm going to get in line for this.
I know, but Deadpool would be mine.
And Doctor Strange walked through the line, too, so I got a picture with Doctor Strange
I
also.
know.
That's another one of my top movies is Doctor Strange, so.
Cool.
Boy, did we veer off a little bit.
Yeah, whoops. A couple fun facts about Tower of Terror, which we covered most of them, but this one I did not know is that some of the bellhop uniforms are a little bit different than others. So if you see a cast member with gold epaulets on the shoulders,
Okay.
I don't know, I'm guessing those are the gold, like,
Yeah.
don't know.
Little fringy things on their
I
shoulders.
was like, how do you describe those? Anyways, if they're gold on their shoulders, it means that they have worked at the Tower of Terror since its opening in 1994.
Oh, wow. That's
So
cool.
I was like, that's
That's
cool.
cool that they give them kind of a rank, you know?
Yeah, I thought that was neat. And then, so every once in a while, you'll see a 13-minute wait at Tower of Terror, and they also do this at Haunted Mansion
Yep.
as well. And so, really, all that a 13-minute wait means is that it's a minimal wait.
Yeah.
So instead of doing 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes,
They do the spooky
they'll
unlucky
do the
number.
10-minute or they'll do the 13-minute wait just because it's just Disney humor.
Yeah.
It's a haunted hotel or it's a haunted ride.
Yep.
So of course they have to do 13.
Sure.
So,
Makes sense.
yeah, Haunted Mansion does it too. And it's me. So, our story wouldn't be complete without a little fun story that I found on Reddit from user WaterFox17.
Okay.
This one's not super long, but I adore it. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Former tower bellhop here. Just a bit of forewarning. Some of you might find this a little bit NSFM. I don't know what that means.
Not safe for minors?
Sure.
And NSF is not safe for.
Okay, we'll go with that one. I don't know, but it's still a good story. So when the Tower of Terror goes 101, long after guests have been escorted off and maintenance has given us the okay to operate again, we have to, quote, reset each floor after turning it back on and testing it. It's a fairly simple process. Go up to the top floor, go into the show scene, and push a button. Easy job, just a lot of walking and going downstairs. The upper flights on either end don't actually have a door leading directly to the show scene. You actually have to let yourself outside onto a little patio on each level and then into a locked door where the elevator path is. Most of the time, they only get walked twice, once at opening, once at closing, if you're lucky and we don't have any breakdowns. The night in question was not one of those nights where I was lucky, so I'm working a closing shift at the tower, and it's going well into the evening. I get the luck of having my elevator go 101. Maintenance has taken care of everything and tells us we're okay to reopen, which means it's time to reset the shaft. So I head all the way up to the top floor. I arrive at the top, and unlike the rest of the building that's filled with the ambiance music or people shouting from the ride, it's dead quiet. But I've got a job to do, so I walk down the hallway towards where the patio door is, reach for the doorknob, and knock, knock, knock. I froze dead. Backed the frozen up. I didn't even have to censor that one. I liked that. There hasn't been anyone on that patio for hours. There sure as heck shouldn't be anyone knocking. I heard a few more knocks and actually backed up to our ride phone for help, which connects me to the person sitting at the tower console who monitors the attraction. I was pretty illegible and tripping over my explanation of what was going on, but it took the tower console cast member, who was a good friend of mine, all of 10 seconds to look at the clock and remind me, "Did you forget the fireworks were right now?" It took a long time for me to live that one down. He repeatedly pranked me during closing over the PA when it's all quiet and spooky after figuring out that I was easily scared.
Good stuff.
I liked that.
That's a funny one.
Yep.
Because not supernatural, you just forgot.
Yep, those knockings were just the fireworks going off. So that's all I got.
That's Tower Terror, all right. So to kind of go towards, just to kind of play off the supernatural that wasn't supernatural, have you seen the video out there of the maintenance guy working on the ride?
No.
So there's a video out there. You can find it on YouTube. Like I'm sure if you like Google Tower of Terror ghosts and then click videos, it'll bring it up. But it's him sitting in like one of the elevator cars, and like it's in the like shaft and in the drop part,
Okay.
and he's sitting there doing his work, testing something out, and like some lights flash, and like you see some figures sitting with him, and then they flash away. So a lot of people are like, there it is. There's ghosts on the Tower of Terror. There's video evidence of ghosts on the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's just been debunked as the way the camera is hitting it. It's like images from the ride
Hmm.
that are in the seat. So you should definitely look that up
Okay.
and check that out.
I see an article for it. Oh, yep, I do. I see it.
See the video?
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll have to post the link then.
Yeah, we can post the link there for that. And I have been dying to talk to you about this because I wasn't sure if you were going to have come across it and put it in your episode or not.
Okay.
So Disney Plus has their Behind the Attraction ride.
I know
Our show.
we haven't watched them.
I know it's for what our show is. You think we would have watched? This
Ironically,
season
you
already,
really do.
But they have an episode on Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
And they're doing a part where they're showing how the system works, and the basically you're dropping faster than gravity.
Yeah.
And they're showing you how it works. So there's this guy out there who's an engineer, and he has a YouTube channel where he basically talks about things like that, where like how rides work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was watching the show, and he was watching them post the like diagram and stuff about how it all works. And he was like, "Hey, that's mine, like directly from my YouTube channel. That is the diagram I made for my show on my YouTube channel."
Oh.
So at first I'm sitting there thinking, like before a lot more of the details came out, I'm like, well, come on, man, like, yeah, maybe you're an engineer, but wouldn't it stand to reason that they have the same diagrams because it's their ride?
Yeah.
No, Disney straight up lifted it from his YouTube channel.
Oh,
And
man.
used it on their show, but it did end amicably. He talked with Disney and like they worked it out, and they added his name to the credits of the show.
I hope he got a couple bucks for that too.
Yeah, and I don't even necessarily know that he wanted money for it. He just didn't want Disney taking credit for his work and what he did to explain how the ride works.
Cool. Well, I want a couple bucks for it still.
Yeah, right. Right. But yeah, I've been waiting to tell you that like forever, that Disney straight lifted that guy's diagrams off his
Wow,
YouTube show.
Disney, disappointed.
Yeah, so now they did though. They apologized to him and added his name to the credits of the show.
Dang. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Good old Tower of Terror. And I do love the movie. We watch that all the time. It's awful. It's got Steve Guttenberg and Kirsten Dunst in it, but
Yeah,
it's
you
great.
sure love your awful movies.
I do
Well,
love my awful haunted Disney movies, but now that Scarlett Johansson is back on the ends with Disney and they're not all mad at each other and they settled out for their Black Widow debacle, they are moving forward again with her Tower of Terror movie.
well,
She's
that
like,
is good because it'd be great if there was a Tower of Terror movie that was, good.
well, I mean, I think that's what they're trying to do with the Haunted
Well,
Mansion
I
reboot,
mean,
too, which they announced
yeah.
that they cast Danny DeVito in that now too.
Oh, that'll be cute.
That'll be cute. That just makes me think of there's like a little meme out there that it's like phone rings, Danny DeVito's wife answers and says, "Honey, it's Tim Burton on the line. Do you want me to put you through?" And it says, "Size, grabbing 4-foot top hat. No, just tell him I'm on my way."
Oh my gosh. That's more funny because we just watched all the how the movies that made us
Yep, the movies that made us.
and watched the Nightmare Before Christmas one that spent a lot of time talking about Tim Burton and Batman too. So
Yep, for Batman Returns.
Yep. So that is funny.
Well, that was a good episode.
Wait, is Tim Burton gonna do Haunted Mansion then?
No.
Oh.
No.
God, that'd be amazing.
I mean, maybe. Probably just have Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter in it.
I mean, I'm fine with that. It seems to be a good recipe for success.
Actually, it might not have Johnny Depp, though.
I was going to say, but
he's trying to get himself back on track after everything. So.
I do love me some Helena Bonham Carter.
You do.
Wait, now I really want Tim Burton involved in this. Can you write a letter to Disney?
why don't you? You're the one that wants it.
You
so
have
bad.
more time than me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's it for this week's episode of Ashes and Will Do Disney.
Don't forget we need your mouse tales. If you have a funny, weird, exciting, or just a favorite Disney memory, send it to ashesandwilldodisney@gmail.com so we can read them on the show.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Ashes and Will Do Disney. This is a public group to follow. We're also on YouTube at Ashes and Will Do Disney.
Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much for listening, and have a magical day.